Finally, I found the record button. I'm having tech problems today. Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely, I don't know about your company, but I know that there's a lot of companies that are kind of following this model. There's a company called Real, I think, in real estate, and they're all kind of following the same sort of, I mean, people call it the pyramid or the multi-level scheme or whatever. And I don't know. I didn't join EXP for that reason. Actually, I didn't join. I just wanted to sell real estate and create a team within it. That was kind of my game plan. But there's definitely some very cool features. And my goal actually for my own team is to also sort of guide you in the process of, oh, I lost my background. Guide you in the process of, attracting your own agents as well, because it's lucrative actually. And it's not, I mean, I know a lot of you guys are young as well. So, maybe you're not thinking about residual income in the future, but it's really not a bad thing to be thinking about, because it's actually transferable even to your kids. So when you have kids, or if you have kids in the future, then you can actually transfer it as long as one's a licensed realtor. And I thought that was shocking, because you can actually will it to your kids so that they can continue getting a residual income. And it doesn't take long to actually build. If you get 5 agents under you, Atish has a really good sort of outline of the model. It's like 5, 5, 5. Those 5 get 5 and those 5 get 5. And then you open up different tiers. Have you guys ever taken a look at the EXP model? It's pretty cool. And it actually, it kind of just happens organically for me, because that's not my focus. And I think that but I definitely want to have EXP written on things. So today I have an EXP pin. Today I've got my EXP in the background. So I'm all about EXP. And of course, the Kochapproach is my brand for this coaching, because in the future, that's sort of the direction that I'm going in. So anyway, I'll stop yapping for the moment, but let's jump into the wins of the week. Dun, dun, dun. Who wants to go first?
I can.
Yay.
Mine's kind of silly, but I mean, it just kind of goes to show your brand and your appearance, right?
Yep.
I was in line getting coffee, and the gentleman behind me tapped me on the shoulder and interrupted me and asked me, what on earth do I do for work because of my nails? And he said, what do you do? Because your hands are so crazy, your nails are so crazy. And I turn around and I say, believe it or not, I said, I type all day. I'm a mortgage broker. He turns out that he was a real estate agent. So we had coffee together.
Oh, that worked out.
So, but yeah, funny enough, I mean, every time I go out grocery shopping, wherever, people always ask me, and I think it's funny to answer, because people never expect that I type all day, right? But I mean, it also goes to show that everything you want comes with time and patience, because this just took 6 years, and I never ever thought that they'd be this length ever, and I'd be able to function. So I mean,
those are your real nails?
Well, I mean, they're acrylic tips, but yeah.
Okay. I'm like, what? Oh my God.
Yeah. I've had tips for 7 years now. They've been this length for about 3.5, 4, but it's just slowly as they grow, not removing it and just adding to it slowly, right? So it's time and patience. But yeah, he ended up being a realtor. I get the question often, but we ended up having coffee together and talking about the markets, and we got into data and a little bit more of the specifics. And yeah, that was just the silly win of the week.
That's
That's
actually a cool win, because everybody, it just goes to show you that blending into the crowd isn't serving us. So
usually it's my hair and my clothes, but yeah, usually it's my hair and my clothes, but often it's my nails, and it's usually women that ask because they're curious, right? How do you function? And yeah, he was an agent, so I thought that was really funny.
Well, let's reach out to each other anyway after this, because I do want to talk to you about the client that I had sort of sent your way. So, but not right in this moment, of course, but
absolutely, we can do that after the call.
Yeah, and the reason why I actually sent her your way in the first place, so you'll be that kind of fits with your nails.
And perfect.
Yeah, so it's funny how we kind of associate, when we are matching people. But
yeah.
Okay, who's next? Who's got a win?
I got a small one.
All right, what's your small one?
Very small. I had a couple. I was golfing with a couple, but with 2 buddies.
Yeah.
On the weekend.
Yep.
And guy I didn't know, and the guy I didn't know actually goes, "Oh, I saw you on YouTube," and I go, "Oh, you did," and then I was like, "Fuck, people actually see that stuff," and he goes, it was good." I was like, "Okay, thanks, man." I was
That's
just so
awesome.
uncomfortable. I was so uncomfortable. I don't like it. I don't know.
Isn't it weird? I
Yeah,
haven't got used to it either.
I don't like it. But
Wow. Well,
but
get
someone
comfortable with uncomfortable. That's awesome,
I was
right?
like, thanks, man.
Well, probably the part that made you uncomfortable was because you didn't know if he liked it or not.
Yeah, it was the way he said it. He goes, "Saw you on YouTube." And I was like,
And
"Does
you're
that
like,
mean
yeah.
keep talking or I'm gonna quit?"
And what was the YouTube that he saw? Like, what did
It,
he?
it was that first video I posted about first time home buyer tips.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
It was actually the YouTube short.
oh,
So when you put shorts out, it accesses more people. I didn't realize so.
that's cool, actually. And you could probably say, well, if you saw that, that must mean that you're looking for a home. Are you a first time buyer?
There you go. He was in the real estate world of
I would have been like,
YouTube.
like
Yeah, right there.
I would have grew some nails like
Oh,
that.
I did drop that, but he's also 25, so I don't think that's happening yet.
No, hey, you never know. Actually, I met with somebody yesterday. I might as well interject a little win.
Sure.
So I'm building a coach home right now, and and I've had to save on the budget. So I've been kind of superseding the builder and going after some of my own trades, and getting substantial discounts. And so I have an insulator guy, and his son is 22 years old, building 3 houses in the valley in Chilliwack, and he asked if I could have a meeting with them to sell them. So I'm like, sure.
Very
So
nice.
you never know when something's going to open another door. And don't judge. 22 years old and building 3 houses, like that's pretty awesome, right? And
Very good.
and I mean, obviously his dad is like, drill sergeant, because he was like, I wasn't sure he was going to amount to anything. And I'm like, he's 22. Like, give him
He's
a break. He's 22. He's building 3 houses. Hope he's proud of him. Anyway. All right. So anybody who's next? Who wants to go next? That's an awesome win, by the way, Nick. I'm going to watch your YouTube channel and subscribe. Yeah.
great.
I'll go.
Okay.
My win for last week, I think, was that I had put in an offer for my clients in Alberta. And over the last week, it's been accepted, and now our closing date is this week because it's vacant land. So the closing date can be super quick. So first sale.
Very nice.
Amazing.
It
Congrats.
feels like it's moving so fast, and I've been fumbling my way through it. And I've just been focusing on like really trying to be open to learning and making mistakes.
That's good. That's a very good win, because honestly, you cannot prepare yourself enough in this business, and there's always going to be things that you're not prepared for. I mean, I don't know how the Alberta market works. I mean, we just have to kind of fumble our way through, together too, being licensed in 2 different places, processing your deal in another board, land only, and quick closing. So I mean, even though it's maybe a smaller sale, it's a fast sale, so, and it's your first one, so it's kind of like put it on the board. Good job. That's an awesome win. All right, who's how about oh, we got Shiva's on, but she's got bad hair day or something, so she's not showing up.
That's me. Yes, I have a bad hair day, and yeah,
Now
one
that
of
you're
these days I'm gonna be silent today.
okay, you're gonna be a silent observer. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Elise?
I don't really have a win. I've been pretty sick, so I'm just trying to get through that right now.
Oh, I'm sorry
Yeah.
that you're sick. Did you still make your shifts? I saw that you had hospital shifts on your
Yeah, I
calendar.
made it to yesterday's shift, but I probably shouldn't have gone there. But I did that. But maybe a small win for me is just people at the hospital have been like, when real estate gets brought up, they come around me, or they're like, oh, well, Lisa's in real estate. So they have started like talking about it more. So I guess that could be a small win for me.
That is a small win because now they're kind of, they wanna be in the know because everybody wants to know what's the heck is going on, right? So,
Yeah, for sure.
okay, well, awesome, everybody. Let's share my screen so that I can kind of go through the agenda together with you. So, I've noticed everybody's getting these, right? But I have noticed that nobody is filling in this. So maybe we need to put this link somewhere else because nobody is sending it to me. And so, do you recognize this
Oh, I
link?
didn't even know that was a thing.
It's a thing. It's a thing. Click it and you will see. So it is a thing. It's a great thing, I think, because it opens up this Google form and it sends me a copy once you've actually filled it out. It also tells you where we are in the year. And it also tells me who you are, what your wins, so I know them in advance, what your goals are, even what you need right now. Like if you're having a crappy day, nobody else sees this. It doesn't go to everybody. It just goes to me. So that way I could know in advance if you need some help. So it's at the bottom. I might put it at the top now so that everybody fills it in. This is the second week of the month. So this is where we're going to dive into stats. I was dabbling in this because I was just so shocked that you can like use Chat GPT in this format. I am like so all about Chat GPT right now. It's not even funny. Are you guys playing with it at all? Yeah. So?
Constantly.
So I'm considering going into the enterprise because now I have pro or plus or whatever the heck it's called. And now I want to increase it, I think, but we'll see. I'm just getting some feedback to see what other people think. Are you guys all just on the free version right now for ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So monthly stats. So this is the time by the second week, you should already have the stats. And so of course, on our team, we get the Snap stats and usually they're available if you're with EXP even. They post them online. John Size group, I think, posts them all the time from the Snap stats. SnapStats has a ton of different resources so that you can actually put together some pretty cool stuff for social media to post what's happening. So if you're not comfortable doing a video, you can at least put together a cool post to promote either your farm area or the entire Greater Vancouver or the Fraser Valley or whatever area you want to focus on. In the meantime, you don't want to overdo it because there's one guy actually in the Fraser Valley and his stats are really good, but they're just so much like it's like the stock market. Like you go to his page and you can just see like everything blown up on his screen. And I do go there and hunt out stats from him because I know that they're accurate. But it's just too much. So pick 3 to 4 points max. Don't go heavy on the numbers. People can't handle it. Tell the story like it's your best friend. How's the market? Give your opinion and use Chat GPT. So I was like, okay, this is cool. So here's a link. It opens up to this BAM. Oh, I already had it open, and this is 5 Chat GPT prompts to turn local market stats into consumable content. Did you guys check this out at all from the email?
No, I didn't see this.
All right, well, it's in your inbox and you can do it after as well. So when you scroll down, you can put your stats. This takes the most amount of time into like a table like this. So if you want to do a local market, you can just put your local market stats. If you want to do Greater Vancouver, whatever, put your table together. And then here's the prompts. So if you wanted to do an Instagram reel, this is what you copy and paste. So I'll show you an example. So you copy and paste this and put it into Chat GPT. So I happen to have Chat GPT open right now. Can everybody see? And so it says using market statistics, I want an engaging newsletter. So there was an option for a reel, option for a newsletter, option for something else. So I'm going to do a newsletter. So an engaging newsletter headline or subject line, an introductory paragraph summarizing the main topic, a section that highlights the key market stats. So that's where you put in the table of the actual stats, infographics or charts. So this is what it spit back at me. Now you could do this as a video, you could do this as a blog, or you could do this as newsletter that I asked for. But so here it actually picked up because my ChatGPT, as much as I am happy to share it with you guys, it's very personal. So I realized that it's not really a shareable thing, ChatGPT, because it starts to pick up on your personality and the business that you do. So it automatically put in New West homeowners. Greetings, New West homeowners. I'm not sure I would say greetings, so I probably would change that. Sounds sort of like, earthling greetings. New West homeowners and prospective buyers. I hope this newsletter finds you well. In this edition, we delve deep into the current state of the new Westminster real estate market. Whether you're considering buying or selling, stay informed about the market conditions is crucial, or staying informed is crucial. Let's explore the latest market stats and what they mean for you. Key market stats: median home prices in New West continue upward, reaching blah, blah, blah. So here's where you interject your stats. Homes in New West are selling faster than ever with an average of only blah, blah, blah days on the market. The swift pace is driven by high demand and limited inventory, creating a competitive environment for buyers. Inventory levels. New West is experiencing tight housing market with a inventory level percentage, whatever you determine that was, decrease. And I'm going to do this, by the way, so stay tuned for the video. I will share it with you. In available listings compared to last year. The current market conditions present opportunities and challenges for both buyers and sellers. Sellers can benefit from the rising home prices and quick sales, but it's crucial to price your property competitively to attract buyers in the fast-paced market. On the other hand, buyers should be prepared for multiple offers and act swiftly when they find a home that meets their criteria. So if you're considering buying or selling a home in New West, reach out to me for personalized advice tailored to your specific needs. I'm here to provide insights and guidance to ensure that your real estate journey is a successful one. So I just ran through that as a script. But what did you guys think? Because I would modify it slightly, but I thought it was pretty damn good for 3.
It's very good.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, all I have to do is poke in my stats, go stand in front of the screen, in front of my phone, and, and then get Jose to do some interesting background, and we're done.
Yeah.
Right?
Big time.
I thought it was super cool. All right, so using ChatGPT, this is the link that is in there. It talks about different things you can do: Instagram carousel post, YouTube video there, Mr. YouTube, and you can do your blog, and you can ask for the email or newsletter, which is what I did, and obviously each prompt above will provide some core content for you to use, and from there you need to customize it to make it you. So if you don't want to say greetings, you can say hey or something, that's probably what I would say. So pretty cool stuff. All right, so this is the time that you should be doing it, because not only is everybody else's stats out and you can kind of rip off and duplicate, but then you can be consistent in getting out the stats each month. I did notice actually, Jessica, that you've got it ongoing in your ClickUp, and I'm assuming that you did it, or you're going to. It's almost there. All right, so additional ways to become the market expert, because as you just said, Elise, people are starting to ask you, and when you're a new realtor, you need to absorb as much as you possibly can on what's happening. So set up a Google alert for your town or for real estate topics, or subscribe to, newsletters and things. Like I just subscribed to this channel, this BAM channel, because I was like, okay, so these are all kind of questions that people are asking. I like to read, and I scan through the email stuff in the morning. These are all topics that everybody's seeing on the media, and they're going to have questions. So if you see what people are asking, then you will be able to prepare yourself to answer those questions. Read the daily blog posts from KCM, which is Keeping Current Matters, and Housing Wire. I did sign up for Housing Wire. Of course, a lot of this stuff is based out of the US, but that's okay. We can totally use a lot of it. And, everybody knows that we do actually sort of follow suit anyway. So a lot of it is relevant, or maybe a little delayed. So it's kind of good, because whatever happens usually happens to us after. So we actually get a little bit of prep. Study the MLS daily. So I did go through a little overview of how to do that, going into Paragon, checking your hot sheet, check how many listings there were that day, check how many listings there were this week. Now, unfortunately, in our market, they don't have pending showing up when a deal goes pending, when there's a subject offer on it. So that's not something we would have access to, but Jessica, you would, because I'm pretty sure that the Alberta board does have pending section. So you could totally talk about, you know, this many listings in Calgary this week, or in this specific area of Calgary. And, you know, 8 of them went pending, which tells me it's a really active market and lots of activity and demand out there. Post weekly short form videos or carousel posts. So you're right, they do get a lot more exposure. People are scrolling, they have a tendency to watch all of it because it's shorter, and they then, you know, having a call to action is probably the most imperative thing that you can have on. And I'm really working on the call to action and asking for business, because I was really good at putting out all these videos but never asking people to follow me or click here, or hey, if you want to buy a house, call me. You know, like just normal stuff, right? Like this, you know. Oh, I don't know if you could see this. Could you see this? Let's go. And actually, I don't know who recorded that, but somebody was using a whiteboard on the BombBomb. Who did that recently? Oh, you did? Any feedback from that?
None yet, but I'm gonna keep using it for, I think, new clients or new leads. I'm gonna start doing it for every single one of them.
Smart.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so sweet. I mean, if you are recording in BombBomb, the only thing you have to be careful is if you do have a background, that's what happens. This thing, you know, doesn't show up unless you're, you know, right in the right spot. So that's the only thing. If you do have a background, then if you hold up their name, they might not see it. So for those of you that don't use BombBomb, it's a program that you can record yourself, and it's a plugin that you can attach to your email, and you can send quick emails with video, which is awesome. And writing the person's name on a little Dollarama whiteboard is the easiest way to catch their attention, or something shocking that will say, oh my God, what's that, right? But make sure that your content is relevant, because it's a huge pet peeve of mine when I see these subject lines come in and then I'm like, what? And then I open it and it's totally not anything to do with what the subject line is. And then I'm just annoyed. So you know, you want to make sure that it's got the content that's in the subject line somewhat, or they're not going to be disappointed. So if you promise them $1 million and then you're like, and you have to buy this first, you know what I mean? All right, so now you're going to study the MLS, post the video and carousel. Then you're going to do your competitive analysis of the week. So what's your ranking? Now, this is kind of tough, but you can track your, you know, as you make sales, you're going to see where you excel. So when it says MLS ranking, they have this in the US. We actually can't test our ranking here or find out what other people's ranking is, as far as I know, unless anybody has different information. But what you can do is like track it. You can track, you know, where your sales coming from when you're actually making the sales. At the end of the year, you can look back and say, oh, well, I did a lot of sales in Burnaby. Seems to be like the place that, you know, maybe is surprising to you, because that wasn't where you were focused on, but for some reason it ended up there. And the cool part about looking back at that is, you know, maybe that's working for you, and then figuring out what it was that made that work so that you can do more of it, because why change something that is working? How many of the percentage of listings did you actually get from your farm? And maybe your marketing's not working in that farm area, and so maybe you need to make some adjustments there. What's your competition doing? So, you know, who in the area that you would like to work, or you think you should work, who's doing it, and what are they doing that you're not doing? Studying that competition, you know, because sometimes we're always just looking at what we're doing and how we're doing it, but it's really important to look at what other people are doing, or taking the time to do that, because you can learn a lot from, or at least how to do your job better anyway. Sorry about that, the WhatsApp messenger. Can you guys all hear that when it goes off?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so worth a listen. Here is the business planning webinar. I think you should have access. Let me just click it and see if it'll open without it going into, oh, it'll go into Illume. Okay, so not all of you will have access to that, but I do have a PDF version. So anyone that is on the call today will get a PDF of creating your 2024 business plan. I'm already working on mine. Our team is scheduled to do our individual business planning for the 17th of October. And I will make sure that everybody's reminded on what to do. And then, of course, all these lovely little YouTube links that are clickable, you can add them into your time blocking Google Calendar so that you can watch them at a later date. And you can even add the level 10, and you can fill it out anytime, even if it's not done for today, at any time throughout the week if you want, before you get the next one. Feel free to fill out the level 10. Any questions? Nope. All right. I'm like bang on schedule, so I'm so proud of myself. Today, we're going to talk about branding strategies for the agent of the future. So Jason Pantana is my go-to for a lot of the marketing. Have any of you been watching him at all through Tom Ferry? Do you like
Yeah.
Do you like him, or do you like his
All right. I
style?
like that Simon Sinek better.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Jason Pantana. Those of you that don't know him, this is him. He's kind of got like a little Mr. Bean thing going on, or that's who I think of anyway. Now, a lot of his videos that are in Tom Ferry are also on YouTube, because he does do his own coaching for marketing, and he has his own program. So he's heavily on YouTube. You can see that you can watch this. This is actually in Tom Ferry, but you can click this and it'll take you to YouTube. Now, the cool part, and the reason I like going to YouTube to watch videos, rather, if there's an option, and taking it out of Tom Ferry ecosystem, is because of this lovely tool here, which is transcript and summary. Now, do you remember that I told you guys about this little tech tool called Glasp? And if you don't have that plugin, you should get it. It's very cool. I can transcribe his entire YouTube video and, well, rip it off and duplicate it, or blog it, or take little pieces out of it and make it a short, or whatever I want to do. Or throw it into ChatGPT and create something unique and different, I guess I could do too. So for the next 15 minutes, I was going to let you guys watch him and watch this video, because it's 14 minutes long. And so we're going to sit back and watch the video together, have a couple minutes after, hopefully, to have some Q&A. And then we're going to finish off with that. And I'll send you all of what we discussed, including the business plan PDF, in the recap email. All right?
Yep.
Okay.
The quick service clients expect today, you need to get them the quote as soon as possible. That
in a challenging market, what's your marketing mindset? Welcome to This Week in Marketing. My name is Jason Pantana. I'm your host, and I'm glad you're here. If you're new to the channel, we invite you to please subscribe. And there's a bell icon right next to the subscribe button that if you tap it, it turns on notifications. So you get alerted whenever we publish new videos, just like this one here. We publish this show, This Week in Marketing, on a weekly basis, so we can talk about what's happening and what's relevant and where the opportunities exist in marketing. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Market leaders don't follow the market. Market leaders double down and rise, especially during downturns, especially during times of hardship. Go back to the Great Depression, for instance. When everybody was freaking out, it was insanity. All these major companies were pulling their advertising budgets, but guess who wasn't? Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble said, no, we stay the course. They continued their advertising. And when they did that, while everybody else was just dropping like flies around them, they cemented themselves as the dominant market force during that period of time. During their present state, there's a ripple effect. They also positioned themselves to be the clear market leaders for generations thereafter. Here's the principle. The work you do now from a marketing standpoint is going to determine your brand of the future. So what are you building? And it isn't just Procter & Gamble. Think about Apple. When did Apple release the iPhone? Well, the answer is in 2007, literally going into the Great Recession. The question is, did the recession help or hurt them? And I would make the argument it helped them, because they were in a market environment where everybody else was freaking out. Once again, just like what Procter & Gamble was up against, everybody was cutting their spend. Everybody was playing small. Everybody was retracting and trying to play it safe, but not Apple. Apple doubled, tripled, quadrupled down. Apple innovated in a landscape when nobody else was. And guess what it did? It cemented them as the dominant players in the marketplace. They crushed everybody in that environment, but it wasn't just that environment. It was the long haul. They forecasted their future with the work they did during that period of time. The marketing work you do in a difficult market will have a compound impact on not just the present state of you thriving in a hard market, but your future state. So what are you building? What's your brand and where are you taking it right now? What is your marketing mindset? My advice is to brand your ground and don't back down, because guess what? There's a lot of agents, a lot of your peers in the marketplace who are marketing reactively, not proactively, reactively. I call it crisis marketing. There's no inventory. I better do some marketing. I better call my sphere of influence. I better send out a postcard. It's desperation. And I'm not saying it to be condescending. I'm not saying you can't market when times are tough and you need some food because you're in a state of famine. I'm simply saying the market leaders never stop marketing, whether it's good or bad or otherwise. Fast markets, slow markets, up markets, down markets, strong markets, weak markets, no matter the market circumstances, no matter the market conditions, never stop marketing. So the question is, with the market being what it is, what will you do next in terms of building your brand and establishing your supremacy, your dominance in your local marketplace? I have a few ideas you may consider, and some of them are small. Some of them are tactics. Some of them are big and strategic. Some of them are inexpensive. Some of them are cost prohibitive. I leave that up to you to decide what are you building and what's going to be the marketing channel, the mechanism through which you communicate your message to the masses of your local market environment. And it doesn't have to be overly complex or complicated. For instance, Jay Pitts, one of our rockstar coaching clients and team leaders and broker owners based in Louisville, Kentucky, who has a dominant market presence. He is a dominant player in his community already. Well, guess what? He is strategically buying out every single shopping cart at the key grocery stores around the areas where he does the most business. Now, I'm not suggesting that you should only put your money in shopping carts. That seems random. But too many folks aren't looking at something like that to say, well, could that be the extra little bit that gets me more brand awareness and gets people talking? Because Jay told me on a recent coaching session, he gets more feedback and more people calling him about those shopping carts because they're used to seeing him everywhere than he does his postcards. Every now and again, you got to mix it up and innovate the ways in which you're communicating your brand. I want to see you everywhere, because it could be as simple as buy out the shopping carts at the key grocery stores in the areas where you do business. Or you may be thinking about going big. Think about billboards, for instance. Now, there are rock stars in our ecosystem of coaching clients who buy out lots of billboards, and you may be limited by your budget in terms of lots of billboards. But nothing's stopping you from going after the most strategic billboards. Think about rock stars who are members of our coaching community, like Nadine Blakely, like Sandra Pike, like Jen Dillard in different markets, who are buying out strategic billboards so that the consumer who drives by them day after day can't help but see them. There they are again, building up familiarity and creating awareness. I was chatting with Sandra Pike about this, and yeah, inventory is low in her marketplace. She's incrementally gaining market share. She's invested strategically. In fact, she, for the first time ever, is getting into billboards because she's cleaning up mind share and market share, even though the marketplace is difficult. The work you do now has a compound ripple effect in terms of the future brand you're building. Are you investing in your brand today for the future returns and dividends it will one day bring you? Not just the present thriving in today's marketplace, but the future state of you as the ultimate agent of influence. You need to level up your online marketing strategy. I get it. The tech can be intimidating, but if you don't leverage the tools, you're leaving opportunity on the table.
Here's a
So
call to
you're looking
action right
level up
here.
your video strategy, your social media strategy, your email marketing strategy, your local SEO Google business profile strategy. And be sure to check out Marketing Club. It's 3 online courses with those topics in mind, delivered by me. It's video-based with step-by-step tutorials and on-screen demonstrations. So you can go from rookie to rockstar and level up the tools of the day. Just click the link in the description for more details. Now, postcards may seem old school to you, or maybe cost prohibitive, or maybe they're just not what you should do something else perhaps. And I would argue that, yeah, you could do something else, but I certainly wouldn't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Postcards work. Postcards are tangible, they're kinesthetic, they're held in the hands of homeowners who may one day decide to sell or refer you. And so this is a game of consideration. This is a game of awareness. Are you on the radar of prospective homeowners who are looking to sell or not? And postcards are key to that. But it's not just a strategic postcard here and now. It's the repetition. The results are always in the repetition. I'm thinking about one of our coaching rock stars, Judy Michaelis. She's the #1 listing agent in Westport, Connecticut, has been for 7 years, and she sends out her famously pink postcards twice a month and never stops. Her brand is everywhere, and she positions herself as the listing agent of choice. And it is a self-fulfilling prophecy because she is, in fact, their listing agent of choice in her community. The marketing you do matters. Matt Curtis, one of our coaching rock stars, runs the #1 team in the state of Alabama, based in Huntsville, Alabama. And he has, over the course of his career, generated a lot of email addresses, over 50,000 email addresses. And he sends out 2 emails every single week. They're value add. They position him as the top agent of choice. If you have an email list and you aren't working it, you're missing a mega opportunity, because email is the GOAT, the greatest of all time digital marketing channel there is, and you're not sending enough email. Phil Gertis from Annapolis, he creates merch. He literally sells on Etsy and gives away as swag hats and hoodies and shirts and bags. He sells clothing, apparel, effectively. He actually gives a lot of it away because he wants everybody walking around wearing his gear, his brand everywhere, and it positions him as a leader. In marketing, there's a concept about making your marketing observable, making your brand observable. For instance, old school MacBooks back in the day, the apple used to be upside down so that when the lid was shut, the apple would be right side up facing its owner. Steve Jobs said, well, hey, when the lid is open, the apple's upside down for everybody to see. Let's make it right side up so we can position our brand better. He wanted that observable factor. When you think about retailers, they've got their big bags with their logos because they want people to see their stuff. Phil Gertis is doing the same idea with hoodies, jackets, shirts, hats.
Every cool hotel needs a website as unique and inspiring as
It's just another way of positioning his brand everywhere. Coach David Caldwell, who runs an amazing brokerage and team outside of Portland, is famously known for his YouTube ads. He runs those YouTube commercials all the time, where what he does is delivers a once-a-month market update on what's happening with housing values, and he runs the ad targeting every homeowner in the community, winning their mind share, showcasing his competence and his capabilities. When it comes time to list their house, they're like, this guy's an absolute pro. He and many others in our ecosystem are having crazy success in terms of attracting listings and showing proof of competence through YouTube commercials. And you could too. Another one of our rockstar coaches, Sean Ryan, based out of Sarnia, Lambton, Ontario, runs Google Display Network ads. You've seen these ads as you peruse the internet, as you navigate through games on your phone or different apps. You'll see square-shaped, wide and skinny, tall and skinny, pop up. They're in the footer. You see these ads everywhere, and you wonder often, how are those ads getting in front of me? They're put there by Google. They're part of the Google Display Network ads, and they are ridiculously cheap. You can get about 300 impressions for the cost of 1 stamp with these things. So what Sean Ryan does is he puts his face, his logo, his brand, his name, and he shows it to everybody everywhere. He targets his town like crazy so that they see him literally everywhere. This is kind of like the shopping carts. This is not an end-all be-all marketing channel, but it's a connective tissue. It's an extra layer of, oh my goodness, there you are again. I see you everywhere. Those are Google Display Network ads, and they could be another tool that you use to establish and cement your brand. One of our rockstar coaching clients and team leaders out of Virginia Beach, Chris Weaver, runs radio ads like a boss. You're like, radio ads? Radio ads, specifically not streaming services, local radio stations. He runs ads, and they're kind of expensive, but not overly expensive when you look at their ROI. He runs ads on key channels during the key hours, multiple times a day, and people hear him all the time. Now, his ads are generally an offer for get a home valuation, text this number, something like that. So they're lead generating in nature. So it's easy for his team to be able to convert those leads over time. What you need to consider is, how do you get your brand in front of the consumer through all the senses? Sight, sound, the touch of postcards, through all the senses, and then committed to memory. Position your brand everywhere. An agent of now and the future has a recognizable brand. And this show couldn't be complete if we didn't talk about social media and video, like what rock stars that we've highlighted on this show so many times. Ken Pozek, Katie Day, Paige Speckling, as you know, Utah Paige on Instagram. They are absolutely dominating on social media. Now, their agent-to-agent referral community is enormous. Their relationships with their sphere of influence and their town is incredible. And their content is so locally charged, but the algorithms are literally showing their content to locals who maybe didn't know who they were before they watched the video, but then they watched the video and then another video and another video and another video. If you're not leveraging video to build your brand, if you're not leveraging social media to build your brand, you're missing arguably the greatest marketing opportunity that's ever been presented to you as a business owner. Events are another channel to consider utilizing to build your brand and position yourself to win everywhere, to be more recognizable. We've done an episode on this show before that we can link up in the notes with Dave Archuleta talking about his softball league, his beer and wine clubs, and his different events that he does to charge his local community and create a sense of togetherness with everybody. His events are an absolute magnet for building his brand. So many agents are just marketing their listings, or I don't have any listings, therefore I have no marketing. Or they're making calls like, hey, who do you know? Because they don't have a plan. If you intend to be a market leader, a top producer, then your marketing cannot be contingent on just the state of the market. You must transcend the market because it doesn't matter what the market is. You're always the guide. You're the solution for the consumer in whatever the state of the market is, and your marketing has to reflect that. And finally, a last idea is that you step up and leverage SEO through your Google business profile. One of our rockstar coaching clients, Brandon Howe, is absolutely dominating on his Google business profile. He's getting found by prospective sellers and customers week by week by week and picking up listings basically for free because he's all about getting reviews and he's all about dominating on SEO, search engine optimization. And the same is true for Ben Lawes, who's based out of Chicago. His phone's ringing nearly off the hook because people are looking for the best realtor. His reviews, his profile is so optimized that he's positioned to win those calls because he's using Google. My point to you today is build your brand. The agent of the future, the agent of now, has a strong, recognizable brand. And I'm looking out across what I'm seeing in the real estate space, and the agents and the teams who are winning are the ones who are invested in their marketing. If you're not building your brand, then you're falling behind and you're leaving a foothold in your marketplace for somebody else to step in and be, not, I don't want to say the hero, but to be that dominant leader. In a state like this, in a market like this, people are looking for someone to follow. Are you the person to follow? Are you positioning yourself as the I know you, like you, trust you, expert authority of real estate in your market? And if you're not, well, this is your invitation to consider doing it. You just heard a whole slew of channels that could be utilized for getting your word out, getting the message out. But my advice to you is to follow through. The results are in the repetition. It's the marketing you do consistently over time that's going to build your brand. So build it, and they will come. And tell us, what are you doing to establish your brand from a marketing standpoint? Tell us in the comments. And if this video resonates, share it with somebody else. Pass it along to a friend or a peer who needs to hear this message today. Thank you so much for watching. Until next week, this is This Week.
What'd you guys think?
Very good.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
One thing I know about his videos is I cannot put them on higher speed because he already talks like so fast that it would sound like a chipmunk if I sped it up. So I wrote down some takeaways. I don't know if you guys are note takers. I am a note taker. So, and then of course I can't make sense of some of my notes. So some of it sticks and some of it doesn't, but anybody have any feedback that they want to share before we end off? And I'm going to,
I like the merch thing. The merch thing's always good. Like little logo golf balls or hats or whatever. I like stickers. It's so simple, but it works.
yeah, I like that. Anybody else got any takeaway? What was, let's just all name one takeaway.
That don't make your marketing contingent on the market, make it contingent on yourself.
Good. Yeah. Not reactive, but proactive, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Anybody else? My biggest takeaway was to double down now more than ever, because now is the opportunity for us to actually make a difference, because a lot of the realtors are actually scaling back. So you're going to be noticed more with doubling your efforts, which is exactly what my plan is for the team anyway. And then of course, we're going to work on our business planning. And before I completely sign off, what I did forget to show you, which I thought was even super cooler, if that's even a word, is this other piece, which is in ChatGPT, where it actually had a prompt where it said, act like Tom Ferry to help me achieve comprehensive insights on my ambitions, work ethics, dreams, ultimate business goals, financial ambitions, and lifestyle. Ask me up to 20 questions, 2 at a time. This is what I asked ChatGPT to do. It's actually in your newsletter, but I will put it. I want to put it in the chat, but I can't find where the chat is right at this moment. Why? There it is. If you put that in Chat GPT,
with a welcome email,
it spit out already my first two questions. What initially sparked your interest in pursuing a career in real estate? Can you describe a specific achievement or moment in your real estate career that you were particularly proud of? You can ask it to regenerate it if you don't like the questions, but I know, Nick, for example, you've like often talked about your why or determining what your why is. Why not choose to ask Chat GPT to inquire about, maybe trigger questions that might help you get there? Or
Okay, I thought you meant ask it to tell me what my.
well, you could ask it to, and I don't know how much it knows you, but don't forget it's AI. So the more you feed into it, the more it's going to learn about you, and eventually it's going to be our, our best friend, I guess.
Demise is a better word.
Right? All right, everybody, have an awesome rest of your day, rest of your week. I'll send the recap and all of the stuff I promised. Hope you enjoyed it today. See you
And we'll
next week.
speak soon, Natasha.
Thank you so much.
Okay, sounds good. Take care.